Hi, boys and girls. Today is our final lesson for garden. We're going to combine the final two lessons, 3 and 4, but they both center around sustainability. So, what is sustainability? Sustainability really means keeping the resources we have today available for the future. How can the garden help with sustainability? And how can kids help? Well, let's go to Toby to find out.
Hello, my third grade friends. My name is Toby from Kaleidoscope. I'm here at one of the school gardens to share our third of 4 garden workshops with you today. During our first 2 garden workshops, we've been busy planting seeds and seedlings. We planted sugar snap peas and radishes, and lettuce, kale, Swiss chard, and beans. Soon these plants will be ready to harvest, and we're going to make a donation to a local food pantry. In addition to taking care of your garden, we also asked you to explore a few different topics related to what you learned in school. During our first workshop, we asked you to think about the importance of the energy the sun provides to our livelihood with the help of plants. Some of the plants growing in your garden, as a matter of fact. Plants have the ability to take that energy and convert it into a form of energy that gives us energy. And that process is called photosynthesis. We also investigated water. So during our second workshop, we asked you to think a little bit more about how important water is to our lives and to all life on Earth. We asked you to observe water after a rainstorm and watch the way it cycles through your environment, and think about, on a larger scale, how water cycles through an entire ecosystem. We also asked you to think about water and how it changes forms from solids to liquids to gases, including thinking about how water that might be on your lawn in the morning disappears in the afternoon. Where does it go? How did it change? So today, we want to ask you to think about a third topic, sustainability. Years ago, when we were asked to help install this garden, one of the reasons the teachers and the administrators wanted you to have a garden on your campus is to learn about sustainability. And so, how does a garden help you learn about sustainability? I have a copy here of the 17 goals that the United Nations established to promote sustainable development. And I just want to tell you about a few of those goals. You might already know about these, but number 1 is no poverty. Number 2 is zero hunger. Number 3, good health and well-being. Number 15, skipping ahead, is life on land. Number 7, skipping back, is affordable and clean energy. So, my friends, I want you to think about how this garden can promote sustainability. I'm going to give you one example of that I think helps, and I want you to come up with another one. And I want you to write a couple of sentences, or maybe even draw like a graphic representation of how a garden promotes sustainability. For my example, I'm going to tell you, we plant the plants I told you about, kale and lettuce, to help teach you about where your food comes from. But we also plant native plants around the perimeter of your garden. These plants aren't necessarily important to you. Some of them you can't eat, but they are important to other parts of your community. They're important to some of the other organisms that live around you and that are vital to promoting a healthy ecosystem. They provide habitat and food to organisms like bees, butterflies, beetles, and countless other organisms. So by including those plants in your garden design, we get to see those animals visiting and see the relationship between those plants and those animals and learn about it. but we also help to sustain their lives and promote their existence in your community. A healthy community means that we have a better chance of surviving for a long time. So I thank you for giving us this opportunity to grow plants and teach you about their importance and think about other aspects of sustainability. And I challenge you to think about an example of sustainability that can be found in your garden. We'll see you during our final workshop soon.
So, Toby talked about sustainability, and here are some of the sustainability goals he mentioned. And I want you to think about, what have you done in your lives, or what has the garden succeeded in sustaining? So, how many of you have donated clothes that you have grown out of to somebody? How many of you walk to school if possible, or take your bike instead of having someone come pick you up? Let's look at our garden. Waste less food and support local farmers. We are unable to harvest and be there to taste our garden, so we're donating it to a food pantry. How wonderful is that? We're definitely being sustainable there. Recycle paper, plastic, glass, and aluminum. We do that at school, and I'm sure you do that at home. Avoid wasting water. We talked a lot about that the last few days. Turning off the water when you're brushing your teeth, not running the sprinkler on a very hot day at noon and 2, doing it earlier in the morning. And avoiding plastic bags to keep the oceans clean. So when you go shopping, you're bringing that tote bag instead of plastic. So you're doing things all the time to make a more sustainable future. Let's check out Toby, who's harvesting the garden. We're usually there for that, but we've got to watch today.
Hello, my third grade friends. My name is Toby from Kaleidoscope, and I'm here to share our fourth and final garden workshop for this spring season. Gardens are a great place to learn about where your food comes from. During the previous 3 workshops, you've observed us planting seeds and seedlings. So sugar snap peas and radishes, and kale and lettuce and broccoli and kohlrabi in your garden. Usually, during our final workshop, we have you help us harvest, wash, and taste those plants, plain and with a salad dressing. We've also shared with you ways that you can learn in your school garden. This season, we've asked you to think about the importance of the sun and the energy it provides, and the ability of plants to take that energy, convert it into an energy that helps us get the carbohydrates and the nutrients that we need to run, to play, and to learn, to be healthy. We've also thought about water and the importance of water to plants, and how water cycles through the environment. It could be in different forms, like a gas, a solid, and a liquid. And sometimes you can find it in the soil, in the plants, in the air. It's all around you. We asked you to make some observations of that and share your observations with your classmates and your teachers. We also asked you to think about how you can be a better steward of your environment. Garden is a great place to explore sustainability, ways to be more sensitive to your surroundings, and to take care of the natural resources that sustain us and will hopefully sustain many generations of people to come. And so today we want to switch gears and ask you to think about math. We spend a lot of time planning our school gardens, and we think about how many seeds we can fit in one space to allow those seeds to grow to be as big as they want to be. Many of you have participated in several garden workshops with us, and we use this tool here called a planting frame. I have this other tool here called a ruler. This ruler is 1 foot long or 12 inches. and it matches exactly our planting frame. So our planting frame, the area of our planting frame is 1 square foot. And within our planting frame, we've made this little grid. And each square in the grid, there's 36 squares, are 2 inches by 2 inches. So they're 2 inches long and they're 2 inches wide. So it's 4 square inches. And each of these squares is where we would plant a radish seed. So we know in 1 square foot, we can grow 36 radishes. In the garden bed in front of me, we have lettuce. Lettuce gets bigger than radishes. And in 1 square foot, we can plant 4 lettuce plants. And so we want you to do one more thing. We want you to think about the math that a garden can help teach. And so I'm going to ask you all to go in your backyard. You may have a patio. You may have a pool. You may have a garden. You can use a measuring tool like a ruler, but I want you to measure the area of one of those things. You might use a measuring tape. You might use a ruler, but pick one of those spaces and measure the length and measure the width and multiply those two numbers, and you'll get the total area of either your patio, a garden. Our garden boxes are rectangular, and they're usually 3 feet by 9 feet. And so that's 27 square feet. And inside of 27 square feet, we can grow a lot of lettuce plants. I think we can grow 108 lettuce plants exactly. So we're going to harvest the lettuce and the radishes that we're growing in your school gardens and make a donation to a local food pantry, probably in the next week or so. They're not quite ready today. And I want you to take some time and have a salad with your family and make it taste really delicious with the salad dressing. We're going to share the salad dressing. We do this with every grade level on our final workshop. It's a really simple dressing. We take a mason jar. We mix a half a cup of olive oil, which is oil you get from the fruits of the olive tree, a quarter cup of balsamic vinegar, vinegar made from the fruits of a grape. We add 1 clove from a garlic bulb. We crush it up really small. We add the fruits of the black pepper plant, which is black pepper, just a little bit to taste. We add salt, the only ingredient we don't get from plants. And we add about a teaspoon of honey, which indirectly comes from plants with the help of honeybees. We mix that all together in our mason jar, and we sprinkle it on our leaves, our roots, and our fruits, and have a delicious garden fresh salad. So thank you, my friends, for joining us online and observing us take care of your school gardens this spring. And we look forward to seeing you again in person and have your help to dig, plant, water, and harvest sometime soon. Take care, my friends, and be safe.
So, third graders, all of the vegetables that are harvested are going to be donated to a local food pantry. How is that helping with sustainability? Let's look back at those goals. Donate what you don't use and waste less food and support local farmers are certainly 2 ways that we are succeeding in our sustainability goals. I want you to go to Epic today and read The Greatest Table. I think you'll find it very important and relatable to what we spoke about today and people who need food and the importance of sharing food and growing food locally. Then go on over to BrainPop, where you'll watch the video about reduce, reuse, and recycle. And you'll complete the assignment, which requires you to watch the video and then choose 1 or 2 of the quizzes. So, third graders, today I want you to think about what have you done to live a more sustainable life, both at home and at school. And I want you to read that important book and complete the BrainPop assignment.